Hello and welcome, my friends, to another edition of Lost in the Dark podcast. I am Burton. I am here yet again, quarantined, shelter-in-placed, soloed episode, so to speak. We're gonna make some phone calls, definitely. But holy shit, this has been crazy. This has definitely been crazy. We are all collectively having a crazy experience right now. I hope you all are staying safe. I hope you all are staying healthy, and yeah, like I hope everybody is doing all right out there. All our listeners, everybody, all the venues that we support, all the bands we support, at least we try to support here on Lost in the Dark podcast. I hope everyone's doing all right. Man, this shit's crazy. This shit's crazy for sure. So you know what? Fuck this. I'm not even gonna do. I don't have an intro. Honestly, you know what? Here, yeah, I do. What the fuck am I? What the fuck am I talking about? I don't have an intro. Yes, I fucking do. Here we go. Here we go, people. First of all, we're gonna start this with fucking a sip of Buffalo Trace. New whiskey I've tried. New whiskey I tried. I'll talk about it a little bit more later. But here, anyone who's drinking with me on this Saturday evening, raise your glasses, please, and have a sip with me now. It's a stressful time. If you're not sipping now, you're never gonna. So, here's to us and all of us doing what we're supposed to be doing and keeping it tight during this time. Excellent. So we're gonna spark this boy up. Whoop. And then we're gonna get into it, people. Here we go. We're making some phone calls tonight. Here we go. Oh shit! What up, buddy?
Not too much. How are you?
I'm doing pretty all right. How you doing?
I'm one of the lucky ones still working. So.
Right? I didn't even fucking tell anybody who you are yet. We got Jordan on the phone right now. Regular guest of the podcast. And dude, okay, so last week, or I guess on the last episode or whatever, I called Katie and Grace, my two sisters, and they are both being affected by all this shit in very different ways. Katie was supposed to leave for South America on June 1st for the Peace Corps. That has been delayed at the moment until September, but I mean, let's be real, probably longer. Grace is a senior in high school who will not be able to experience walking on graduation or having a prom. And then
she's just been ripped out of school and promised the fact that she'll still graduate because we don't know what else to do.
Yeah, literally. And then you, like, so those two, it's pretty obvious ways that this all this shit is affected. Then you're just like me. You're 30 years old. You're fucking normal person. Fucking, but then you have a job that you then leave, and then you get another job that is now considered essential.
Yep, the job that I have left is actually closed down.
Yep.
They've shut down until further notice. And now I am just out there with the public who, despite being in a shelter in place executive order, people are still coming in hundreds a day to shop for what to me really seems like very unessential items. I would say maybe 5% of the customers that come through the doors that the hardware store that I work at, no, I just are there. Only 5% are probably there to, for any legitimate reason that they should be out in the current pandemic.
Yeah. y- you work at one of the big box hardware stores. I don't know if you want to say the name of it or not, but it's one of the big ones. And now, so just fucking all right. So here in Michigan, we were in a shelter-in-place order for 30 days with loose rules in compared to the rules that started for the next 30-day shelter-in-place, which just got assigned 2 days ago, which started today officially. So now what changes has your store had to make? I'm under the impression they're not allowed to have like a furniture section. You know, there's certain sections that are needing to be closed off now.
Under the new executive order, it put more stringent commands on what a lot of different businesses around the state of Michigan are able to do, but specifically for grocery stores and hardware stores that are still open during these times, it's put limits on non-essential items such as flooring, furniture, paint, and garden services.
Real.
And that is the full list that Whitmer had included in the newest executive order. And primarily that affects me because I work in the seasonal department, which half of my department is now roped off, quarantined off behind caution tape because we sold patio furniture and garden supplies.
Right. So what, in a big box hardware store then, what's left? What areas are not roped off?
Oh, everything. You can go anywhere that you want. You can buy basically anything that you want still. It's really made no effect other than we had to put up some caution tape.
Really?
Yeah. So, you rope off all these areas because the garden center is now closed. But you can still buy plants because a lot of plants, like vegetables, are considered food. And you can't stop someone from buying food. Food's essential.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't. It seems. I've been seeing a lot of posts today of people upset that at certain stores, like like at a Meijer, the seed department is roped off. You can't buy seeds at Meijer's, but you can buy alcohol, and a lot of people are upset about that. But at the same time, it's fucking Meijer's. It's not where you should be going for seeds to begin with. And we're in a situation right now where, look, like whether you do or not, it doesn't matter. You need to realize that a lot of people in this state drink every single day. And if they suddenly stop access to alcohol and all of those people start getting DTs and start needing to go to the hospital, on top of all the people going to the hospital for the coronavirus, we're going to have a fucking problem that is unnecessary. You know what I'm saying?
And it also brings in a lot of money to the state of Michigan with the extra tax on alcohol.
I mean, I'm not denying that. That's a very real thing.
I mean, and I'm not saying that as like a bash against Michigan, like, oh, you're only keeping it open for them to make money. Literally, the state is in a state of emergency.
Yeah.
We're facing a pandemic. The state needs money. That's where they're getting the money to be able to give everyone in our state a little help.
Yeah.
Along with the federal government.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. And like you just said, if you go into these places, ultimately you can still go buy plants. And if you go into an actual big box hardware store, yeah, it's a little more risky. Yeah, there's a few more people going to be in there and stuff like that, but you'll be able to get the seeds you want probably and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you still can't really buy like flowers, anything like that. But you can buy vegetables, you can buy seeds, to put in the ground for vegetables. We're really supposed to be limiting it to like vegetables and fruits and things that you can grow for food, but
That
it's all in the same on the same display table. So
fair enough.
either you rope off the whole table or you open up the whole table.
Fair enough.
But then,
It's a table.
but then you have things like grass seed, which is roped off. You're not allowed to buy grass seed right now, or fertilizer, or compost, or mulch, things like that. And
Well,
and yet we still sell grass seed.
well, I mean, a lot of those things, grass, mulch, all these things for your lawn. What ultimately, at the end of the day, what does that boil down to, other than cosmetic? Other than wanting to have a nice looking lawn.
Yep, but and the executive order is supposed to be only things to sustain
Life.
to sustain life and the quality of life.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of things that we're still selling the most of right now are things that really they like add quality to life, but you don't need it. It's not an essential product.
Right.
The number of people buying barbecue grills and smokers and charcoal.
Is there a lot?
It's astronomical.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe if these, that I can almost understand though, because those are items used for cooking, and if these are people that didn't have them before, or they had old shitty ones and needed to replace them because they hadn't used them in a few years, you know what I mean? Those, like, specifically grills and smokers, specifically those things I could see. I could see, that seems...
And then it's the same thing with all the lawnmowers and power equipment.
Yeah.
Except all of the landscapers are
Yep.
shut down currently.
Yep.
Everyone that doesn't have the equipment previously is having to go out and buy it for the first time in years for themselves. They're trying to start their lawnmowers for the first time since 1995, and they're realizing that leaving oil and gas in your lawnmower for 25 years is a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very, all of that is definitely, you know what? It's things like that right there that I didn't think about that make a lot more sense why a big box hardware store would be considered essential.
Yeah, and you have to be able to cut your grass, because if you let it go too long, then you can it encourages rodent infestations, things like that.
And you can get a ticket from the city.
Yep, but I don't think that the city right now is going to fine anybody for having grass too long.
I agree. I do not think that is a very priority issue right now. I agree.
And even if we hit the point where the shelter in place is over in May and you haven't cut your grass going into June, I think that you have a pretty strong case against being fined for anything, probably for the next few months, for anything like that.
Absolutely. And so yeah, this has clearly impacted you in a pretty fucking crazy and wildly unexpected way. You go from a job to you get to a point where you decide, you know what? I don't like my job. I've got enough money saved up to float for a couple months. I'm going to quit my job and then try to find a job that I'm actually going to really enjoy. And then in that intermediate time, you decide you're bored enough that you want to find a part-time job, and this part-time job ends up becoming an essential job during the craziest fucking health crisis this country's ever seen. Like that.
And that's been one of the hardest parts for me, is that it's put all of that job hunting on hold.
Yeah.
I have applications out there that I've been emailed by places that are just telling me, like, we have to put everything on hold.
Yep.
So sit tight. Hopefully you still want a job in 3 months or so, but...
Yeah, like, dude, my roommate 2 weeks ago was supposed to fly out to Colorado to do basically a test to get a new job. And like that had to be put, like he had a flight like booked and hotel booked and everything. Like, and that all had to be turned off, you know what I mean? Postponed. Yeah, no, yeah, 100%. Like that's everywhere. Everyone is having experiences like that right now, and it's fucking insane. You know, it's unheard of, definitely. No one I know has ever fucking experienced anything like this.
No, we haven't had anything like this in our lifetimes or even our parents' lifetimes.
Even it's what I was gonna say. Even our fucking parents, like it goes that far back. Like, man, and it's just really fucking insane to me how differently this is affecting everyone that I know. Like from you to my two sisters to my my two 50-plus-year-old parents and my 60-plus-year-old grandparents, one of them, and then the other one's over 80 now. Like yeah, like the and then I got a fucking cousin who is 3 years younger than me, who is about 8 or 9 months pregnant right now. Like, how is this gonna affect her? You know what I mean? Like this is fucking. It's so fucking crazy. So fucking crazy.
Going to a hospital right now for any reason other than having the flu or COVID-19 is exceptionally dangerous, because that's where all of these cases are currently, with people who are shedding the virus, hopefully in recovery, but all of them have eventually ventured into a hospital.
Exactly.
And no matter how much you try to sterilize everything, there's going to be some cross-contamination between one staff member who's been infected by it and doesn't know that they have it until 3 days later.
Yeah, exactly. Not even 3. It could be, 2 weeks. And that's the other thing is like the amount of evolution that this has gone through in the zeitgeist, right? Like how it all started from, oh, it's something that just affects babies and old people, to nope, it affects and kills everyone without discrimination. And it's a monster. It's nowhere near just the flu or just the cold or whatever the fuck people are saying. You know what I mean? Like this thing. And that's where I started. You know what I mean? I started just like everybody else, where I was, when this all started, I was like, oh yeah, here we go. Every 2 years, we need a new West Nile, Ebola, SARS, whatever the fuck. So that way people start watching the news again because their ratings are so goddamn low. Now, this one has become unheard of, unprecedented, and unlike anything I've ever fucking seen. Or anyone has ever seen. And that's the thing, is it's like this, there's been such an evolution of information that has come out, and such like it just it genuinely feels like no one knows anything. You know?
No. And our understanding and the amount of information that we have about the virus is subpar compared to what it should have been. Right now, the virus has been around since 2019. It's been in the U.S. since January, February, and nobody really knew, cared, or did anything about it until March.
Right.
The number of people that have been infected by this without the kind of testing that we actually needed is astronomical compared to the numbers that are actually being reported.
Right.
Which is why it's very hard to actually look at any of the data that's being presented with any kind of certainty or any kind of critical eye to it, because we have no idea what the ramifications of this virus have truly been, because almost certainly a number of people within the state of Michigan back in February were affected by the virus, and were not. No one knew about it.
Right. Exactly. And we have no idea how many people are asymptomatic or just show no symptoms or are immune or whatever. Like, and we're, yeah, I like.
We will eventually, if they roll out large scale antibody testing within the next
Yeah.
couple of months.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's still a long way off. As we were talking about the other day, the way that this whole situation ends is not until we actually have a a vaccine for this disease. This is going to be our way of life on and off for quite a while.
For until then.
The U.S. government, along with the state governments independently and city governments, are going to have to work together probably over the next 2 years or so to quite literally go into social distancing situations whenever this virus starts popping back up, until we have a vaccine and have it actually applied to most of the population.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, we just, here in Michigan, we just had our an extended version of the stay-at-home order put into existence. It started today and it goes till May 1st. But here's the thing: I don't see this being over by May 2nd. You know what I'm saying? So I see that getting extended. I see all of this getting extended through the summer. Me personally, if I were a betting man, that's what I'd put my money on. At the very least.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll see probably by the end of next week some of the results of this social distancing
Very true.
Practices.
Yes.
Right now, we're looking at the numbers are projected to start leveling off, and the number of cases to stop rising as rapidly as they have been.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of reports saying that things are starting, at least in Michigan, are starting to level out.
But the downside in my mind to those reports that are, to everyone that's reporting things like that, is it gives citizens a false sense of security, saying that these articles are saying it's almost over, and it's nowhere near over. As long as there is somebody that is still infected by the virus, with how rapidly it can be transmitted from one person to another, it will not take much for this to rebound and get back to the same condition that we've been in for the past week. And that's where people need to be really careful and understand why Governor Whitmer is making the choices that she's making to extend social distancing, even though the numbers are projected to start evening out and lessening over the next few days.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. You give people a false sense of hope and security right before the fucking weather starts to warm up, right before everyone wants to go to the beach and everyone wants to go outside and everyone, wants to start going to summer concerts and all these things like I do, quite frankly. And it's, yeah, like we could see a rapid rebound and we don't want that.
No, and that's what's happened in several other countries where they've had similar protocols to social distancing, quarantine during the virus pandemic, and then they lift the social distancing guidelines. People kind of take a breath and go see all their friends, loved ones that they haven't seen. They go do things that they haven't been allowed to do for quite a while. They all go back to work. And in that process, they've dropped their guard against the virus, which is still out there. We don't have a way to combat the virus. We don't have a way to help healthy people to prevent them from getting it if they're around it. And the moment that it starts to spread, it's wildfire, and it will continue to happen. This is something that we, as a people, as a world, need to work on over the next few years until we actually have a way to actively prevent the spread of this disease with a vaccine. Which part of it will be based on kind of a herd immunity. As more and more people are infected by it, they will eventually, as a human population, build up enough antibodies to no longer get sick or no longer get as sick from the virus. But that's still just a part of the cause.
Right. Oh, fuck, man. It's no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, at the very least, with all of this, it's brought some good opportunities to binge watch a lot of TV shows.
Hey-o! There we go.
Which we've both been talking recently about watching this new show out on FX called Devs. D-E-V-S.
With Nick Offerman from Parks and Rec. Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson. Have you heard his song, I'm Not Ron Swanson?
No.
No. For you and anybody else listening, it is everything that's good about the world.
Oh my God, I need to hear that.
It is Nick Offerman playing an acoustic guitar with a self-written song about how awesome Ron Swanson is and how you shouldn't let you shouldn't have such high expectations for him because he's not Ron Swanson.
Oh yes. Oh yes. As soon as I'm done with this podcast, I'm looking that up.
But in a much different role, and the best way to realize that Nick Offerman is not Ron Swanson is probably to watch this new show, Devs.
You know what? Agreed. That's a really good That's a really good point.
Because this is not Ron Swanson.
No.
In any way, shape, or form.
No.
He stands for everything that Ron Swanson does not.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, actually, he's kind of like, I mean, yeah.
You remember episode 1 of the series where he's just stuffing raw spinach into his mouth?
Oh, yeah.
Not with a fork or anything, just eating it out of a little container with his fingers, but stuck in his beard, and he's just like kind of piecing it in there. That's not a Ron Swanson move. That would have been a solid steak and about 18 eggs.
Very real. That's a good call that I didn't even think of. Yeah. But ultimately, I'm so happy that you watched this show because it's fucking. I don't know if I've said this to you, but this show is literally about what you and I would drive around and talk about for years and years and years.
This show was an ongoing 4-year conversation
between you and I.
Between me and you.
Absolutely.
And it never ended because there's always a little bit more to say about it.
There is no end. It hasn't ended to this day. 4-year? I mean, 4-year hardcore driving around every night, yes. But to this day, it hasn't ended.
I'd say a lot of those conversations, and to get kind of into the nitty-gritty of this show, it's essentially a very artistic way to represent to people the philosophical idea of determinism.
Yes.
which, I mean, how do you want to describe determinism?
I mean, honestly, I was gonna ask you how you describe it because I feel like you have always been a little bit more eloquent than I have. To me, I guess um it's the philosophical idea that every single thing that has ever happened or ever will happen is predetermined. It is, in essence, destiny. But what that means also is that there, if destiny and determinism exist, there is no free will. There is no choice. Every choice, every thought, every fathom that you have ever had, you were always going to have or will always have. And you never had an original thought. That thought you always had was always going to happen at that moment in time.
It doesn't make the thought unoriginal. It could have been the first time that was thought.
That's a good point.
But it doesn't necessarily mean we as humans, because I think, therefore I am. We place such a high opinion of our consciousness and our ability to think and reason and make what we will, and our illusion of our ability to make choices. But in essence, the idea of determinism takes the point that we ourselves, in all of our physiological and psychological complexities, are just part of the same, are still bound by the same physical parameters that all other matter in our world and our universe is still bound by. And that's the law of causality. Every effect has a cause, which means that even including the neurological reactions inside of your brain that give you the ability to think, reason, and quote-unquote make choices, all of those are effects which were precipitated by a cause that can, with enough information, be boiled down to a mathematical principle. And thus predicted, determined, you can look forward in time or backwards in time, and with all of the information needed, can make a 100% accurate prediction of what will happen and what has happened.
Right. Yes. Yes. That is a much better way of putting it than where I was going. So this... No, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's always been my standpoint, I would say.
Yes.
You argued a lot against that.
Yes.
But I'm wondering, after watching the show, which I want people to watch it, but I don't know how much to tell people about it. Like, this is a show that, like, it deals with, like, international spies. It deals with tech startup companies that are developing systems to help establish some of these quantum calculations that are needed to actually prove determinism. But
it has the the show itself does have these other elements, but ultimately what the show is about devs, which is the name of the company that essentially has the computer and the company that developed the encryption that basically proves determinism exists within the universe. and that's unheard. That's in terms of the technology that we know of that exists today. That's impossible.
To our understanding right now, essentially, we'd have to have we essentially have to have some kind of process for every single particle in the universe.
In all of not just the known universe, the entire universe. We'd have to know what every fucking particle is doing right now. Every particle.
Here's an interesting idea that I was talking to Gabby about last night, because me and my wife have been watching the show, and this is kind of her introduction to some of these philosophical ideas. And not to get too off topic, but the idea of quantum entanglement, where two particles can exist independently from each other, but their states, whether positive or negative, will always be the same and will change to correspond to the other particle simultaneously. Which means that if you increase the energy level of one particle without touching or affecting the other particle, it will change its energy level to match the first one. Right. This quantum entanglement principle affects particles regardless of how far they are apart. And we've proven this to happen. We know that this exists in the world out there. But how many particles in the human body are entangled with other particles that are somewhere else far, far away in the universe?
Yeah. Is it even possible to know that as of right now?
Not without actually seeing the other side of the equation, the other particle that's entangled.
Right.
Would you be able to know? You could probably see the effects of that particle being acted on and having a ghost reaction here on Earth on another particle, but it would be so sporadic, and without being able to know the cause or any other information about what's happening to that other particle, it would be almost impossible to backtrace that.
And so this show is talking about a company that has potentially developed the encryption key, the code that unlocks that. And so originally honestly, when this show, I'm not exactly sure when it started. We're 7 episodes in, I think, so like 7 weeks ago maybe. So maybe it started a bit far. Yeah, it definitely started a bit farther back than when Cosmos Possible Worlds started back up. But when I discovered this show and when I knew Cosmos was coming back, my plan honestly was to come over to your place every week with these shows, watch them, and then do podcasts with you after we watch them every week. Due to the fact that we can't come over each other's houses right now, I say we talk about everything on this show, up to the current episodes, spoil everything. And so yeah, it definitely does have like these other aspects going on, other like parts of the story. But like you said, international spies and fucking people trying to get into this super secret company, and get information and all this and that. But ultimately, the meat on the bone of this show is about the fact that they've developed a computer that proves determinism, and then on top of that, especially and beautifully illustrated in the most recent episode, they had been working on proving determinism and failing. They were able, essentially, their system gives them their codes, their encryptions, gives them a literal screen where they can sit.
They're using these codes to produce a visual image and audio to essentially a recording of anything that's happened previously or will happen in the future.
Right. To look back and forth in time.
In the first few episodes of this is a very grainy, white and black.
Yeah.
Very hard to understand, glitchy audio.
Like scrambled porn.
What?
Like scrambled porn back in the day, you know.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Like on some Bunny Ears, Bunny Ears TV scrambled porn. That's what it looked like, and but it's from my understanding of the show, it's not even just that. They're using all this stuff to produce these images. Yes, they are images. But then what ends up happening is someone, and it's very grainy, very scrambly, very black and white snowflakes, and but you're still able to see an outline of things happening, like in the first few episodes. A shadow, exactly. Like in the first few episodes, they were able to see Jesus Christ getting crucified and things like that. But then, this amazing thing happens, or one of their coders essentially inputs into the code the multiple worlds theory, and it provides a perfect, crystal clear. It cracks the code. It cracks the encryption. It essentially makes the math perfect. And they are not only able to see every moment in past and future on this screen, but it's not just seeing it on a screen. Within the screen itself, the very same quantum level particles are within the screen that they are viewing. They're not just viewing images of moments in time, they're actually viewing the moments in time. At least that's what I came to understand from the last episode.
True.
Yeah.
They are... I mean, no matter which way you look at it, you have no interaction with the image.
No. No. You have no interaction.
It's still a screen, and no matter which way you look at it, it is...
It's a window.
Yeah, but it's still a video in one way or another.
Fair enough.
It is... You can't get around the fact, and this was one of my issues with the show, is how do you determine the angle from which you view any of these moments? Like the camera angle.
Fair enough. I mean, like I get it. Because they're literally seeing it through a camera angle.
Yep.
So how do you? Yeah, unless you're literally seeing it through someone else's eyes. I get what you're saying.
There's a little bit of a disconnect for me from that, because it quite literally places it with a 2D viewing angle, so a camera or TV screen angle on what should be a three-dimensional depiction of what is reality from a different time.
So you're almost saying it would be more realistic if in this show they had like a Star Wars-esque like 3D board.
Yeah, well, like a Star Trek hologram thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Where you walk into a room, it's filled with particles that you're able to charge to literally reproduce an image of the exact world around you. That way, you are the one. It's not a camera angle, because whether you're looking at that screen or not, the light is being shown from that angle regardless.
Right.
Whereas if it were to actually depict this in a three-dimensional hologram kind of simulation all around the viewer, where they are the eyes beholding the particles as they change, that would make more sense to me.
Real. You know, now that you point that out, that you're right about that. You're right. I didn't think about that before, but now that you say that, it makes sense.
It would be, since the entire show, Ron Swanson, sorry, not Ron Swanson, Forrest is his name in the show. Since the entire show is literally about Forrest trying to bring his daughter back to life,
Essentially.
who died in a car crash at a very young age. The name of the company is actually Amaya.
Oh, really?
Amaya.
Isn't that?
And the division within the company that's working on this top secret determinism project is called DEVS.
Okay.
So it's the development division of Amaya. Amaya was his daughter's name.
Okay.
Which the entire complex is set underneath this super creepy, like 90-foot tall statue of his daughter.
Dude, that thing, there's gonna be something to that thing before the end of this show. I don't know what, but something.
It's like a massive like the size of the Eiffel Tower Chucky doll just staring down on the world with fiery eyes.
Terrifying. Like, real creepy. Just standing up through the trees in, like, a forest. Like, of this little girl. Just a little girl. Just a playful little, a Gerber baby. A playful, maybe not as young as a Gerber baby, but like an American Girl doll. Like, yeah. But like 100 feet tall. Like
every like doll that would give you a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like hundreds of feet tall.
Yeah. That thing, there's going to be something to that thing. I don't know. And that's the really great thing about this show to me so far, is every single thing so far where I've been like, oh, there's going to be something more to, like in the most recent episode, I was like, there's going to be something more to that homeless guy.
They don't really let go of anything that they put into the show.
No. Okay. Yeah, and that's something I love about it.
If someone talks to one of the main characters, it's for a reason, and then it's normally brought back up to tie in that addition without having it have any, without leaving it out there for the viewer to just be like, well, what the fuck was the point of that?
Right. And that's the kind of show I love. Like, where everything means something, even if it's not right now, it's going to end up meaning something later on.
Which is a weird thing to have in a show about determinism, which many would argue actually means that everything means nothing.
Well, but hang on. In a show where hang on though. Wait, what? In a show where everything means something, doesn't that go towards determinism? Where everything comes back in the end?
Yeah, but those were quote-unquote choices by the director.
Oh no! But yeah, no. I'm just saying on the surface level of the show itself, not
Where
actually looking into the philosophical ideas behind the
where it's
choices for the
interesting
show.
that everything wraps in together as cause and effect to create the actual plot story.
Right,
Yeah, yeah, I understand where you're going with that,
right.
but it's we're talking about how they're doing a really good job of making everything they put into the show matter, and where everything that happens in the universe matters because everything has to be accounted in order to truly make the predictions that determinism would suggest. If determinism is true, then none of it actually matters. You wouldn't actually have to show any of that because it happened regardless.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, nothing that you do, nothing that you say will change anything because you're already gonna say it.
But
You can try to think of doing something different, but the sheer facts that you're thinking about doing something different, that that we had this conversation that made you think, well, I'm going to do something different than what I would have done otherwise, was already caused by previous events.
right, like literally anyone's choice right now listening to this to light up a cigarette, to take a drink of something, to eat something, to listen to this to begin with was a choice you were always going to make no matter what. So here's before I answer your original question of how this ultimately makes me feel about determinism and things like that. Um I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the fact that the way this show depicts determinism is no. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. How do you feel about the fact that the way this show makes determinism work perfectly mathematically is through the multi-worlds theory? Because ultimately Forrest, Nick Offerman, our main character, refuses to accept that as reality. He has a very deep emotional disconnect with the idea of the multiple worlds theory. But
Because
but
the multiple worlds theory is that every time there's a chance that something different can happen, that two worlds will go on to exist from that branch. So it's a lot like a tree and branches going off from it. From the first moment in time when two particles collide and there is a random chance that one particle will go off at a 90-degree angle to the right, or it will go off at a 20-degree angle to the left after that collision. Two different universes begin form out of that, and the particle does both of those options. When you wake up in the morning and you look in your closet and you only have two shirts to choose between, one red shirt and one blue shirt. In one universe, you pick the red shirt. In another universe, you pick the blue shirt. And both of those exist simultaneously, and all of the various outcomes from the other interchanges and other possible branches after that point also exist. What Forrest has an issue with is that in the multiple universe theory, that so the first time that they do it, they're using it in order to get an audio recording, which they've been having the most trouble with in the series. They were able to come up with semi-realistic black and white grainy pictures, but the audio was awful. they finally use this multi-universe theory to be able to actually listen to Jesus cross praying in Aramaic on the cross. And Forrest gets furious. And his point is that just because we can hear Jesus, we know that we are hearing the words of Jesus Christ. But is it the same one from our universe?
Exactly.
The same one that continued on from any of those random branches to be in the same universe that we exist in.
Hold on. So what happened in the series was one of the coders for the first time input the code of the multiple worlds theory, and that made the image of Jesus being crucified on the cross literally so perfect that you could hear his actual voice. And Forrest's issue was, is that our Jesus? Or using the multiple worlds theory, that could be just any Jesus from any infinite number of worlds. Literally infinite.
And the difference, and they argue that the difference between the universe that we're hearing and the universe that we live in could literally be one single hair on his head.
And it absolutely could be. That single hair could have enough cause and effect to create enough change in an individual's life that creates an entire different universe. And that is for every, not just individual, but every strain of hair on every individual's head, every blade of grass, every leaf that is grown, every animal that comes into existence, everything, every star that is born, everything, every minute detail, every breath you take, like literally, could create an entirely different universe. This entire podcast, this specific episode, this conversation you and I are having right now, could exist in every possible universe, with you and I using every possible different word in existence that ever has been or that ever will be.
As well as there's many other universes in which this isn't even happening because I fell asleep, or the Earth is not even here.
That too. Every universe where the Earth never exists. Every universe where you were passed out, or where we both had coronavirus, or we both were already dead, or we both were fucking superstars. You know, whatever. Like, whatever. Like, it's every possible in between. Every fathomable existence that could or could not be. All of them exist.
So, what I'll explain, and the show does a good job of this as well, immediately after, in the episode immediately after that is kind of broken through, the show takes kind of glimpses back in time to the past of different characters in the show. And it shows Forrest meeting his second in command way back when she was in college, going through a lecture on theoretical physics. And they explain something that is really relevant to this idea of why the multiverse theory worked. And we have to talk about quantum mechanics and one specific experiment involving shooting particles at slits in paper and observing where those particles end up after they go through the slits.
The original fucking experiment.
What you expect if you shoot particles at two vertical slits is that
hang on. If you shoot light particles through two vertical slits in paper, you expect to see like basically two lines of light, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which is exactly what you'd expect to see out of any particle going through those slits of paper. It should, anything that wouldn't make it through the slit, that's too far off to one side or the other, would hit the paper and bounce back. Anything that goes through it can only make it through to the other side at a certain angle to the opening on it. So you would end up with two vertical slits on whatever you're using to measure it on the backside. When talking about quantum mechanics, though, it doesn't necessarily break down that way. And what you'll end up seeing is particles will end up in 4 different bands on the measurement versus in just 2. And that's because of the quantum nature of particles. As they're going through those slits, it can be either going in one direction or another through the slit coming out, and rather than making up its mind, it does both. Now, what's interesting about the experiment is it confused the scientists that were doing it to the point that they set up a measuring device at the slit so that way they could see the particle the single particle, as it goes in both directions. But when you observe the particle at the slit where it would make that split, it stops doing it the moment that you observe it, and it collapses the wave function.
Okay.
And you end up with the 2 slits that you would expect to see simply by observing it. So lots of people talk about how observation of quantum mechanics can change the outcome.
Right.
This relates, and I think that we'll find out more about this. I don't know if they'll explain more about this in the show, but the way that I'm reading what the show is saying, if I'm picking up what they're putting down, the simple observation of the multi-universe theory. So you have to be able to observe the information of all those tangible possibilities in order for the wave function to collapse successfully to get one universe.
Yes.
Out of the deterministic computer.
Yeah. Yes. And this show is saying that the multi-universe theory is the code that does that, right?
Yep, they're saying that is the code that does that, but specifically, Forrest's argument is that we don't know which universe it is. And what the show is arguing after that, was showing us some of the hindsight clips, is that is our universe. Because with the calculations that they're putting into the computer to use the multi-universe theory does the opposite of actually spreading it out. And by observing all of the universes in the coding system, it actually collapses the wave function into one readable universe, which has to be ours.
Okay.
By observing the quantum state of all of those possibilities, you actually collapse it into the one that truly is.
Ah. Oh, shit. That adds a whole new element to the show.
That's the way that I read that.
No. That makes sense. That makes complete sense. Damn. No, yeah. That absolutely makes fucking sense to me. And that's, I mean, and in the most recent episode, it literally, like, essentially, the second to last episode proved the multi-worlds theory, and then the most recent episode quadruple proved it. And it illustrated it in a very beautiful and artistic way that, to the point, okay, put it this way, to the point where if you're listening to this right now and you don't fully understand what we're talking about, the person sitting next to me on the couch while I was watching this episode didn't fully understand what this was, but the way they illustrated it in this show made them understand. And that's one of the things I genuinely love about it, is how well it artistically illustrates the ideas and possible realities of determinism. I don't know if you feel the same way about that or not, but
I like the way in which it illustrates some of these philosophical ideas, and I think that it does a really good job of explaining and showing what determinism is and how that differs from our general understanding of how we generally would understand the world around us without any of that information. I think that it does a very good artistic representation of how we would actually develop a computer that would be able to process this information and how that would actually be seen. I think a lot of the other backstory to the show I could do without.
agree, dude, I totally agree with that. Like,
I would be more than happy to not have as much drama in the show and literally just be inside of the dev's compound, which is a computer, a massive quantum computer.
Yes.
And just literally watch them talking about trying to work it out, like Office style.
No,
like
just I absolutely totally agree. I could do totally without much of the other human drama that they.
And I don't even mind some of the flashbacks to what brought them to devs.
No, that's part of it. I'm down with that. But like the storyline of the main girl.
Like I would have appreciated it more. Gabby likes the drama though, and that's what's got her hooked on the show. So, yeah, I mean,
hey, you know what?
It's a different way to get other people invested into something that's talking about something they wouldn't normally think about.
100%. Fuck yes. Fucking, actually, you know what? Fucking fuck yes. That's fucking awesome. And I love that. I love that because that's something that we talk about. That's something I talk about a lot on this show, in terms of music, in terms of things, you know, that are a little bit heavier than what normally people would be exposed to, seeming to find their way to sneak onto the radio or sneak into the mainstream, and exposing a much larger number of people to much heavier music than they would normally be exposed to, and they end up liking it, and they end up coming into and getting more into heavier and heavier music. And so the idea of a show that its main thing is this very core this very rooted, this very, essentially the foundation of philosophy, the argument of determinism versus free will. The idea of a show kind of sneaking into the current fucking, I don't know, zeitgeist or the current popular culture, about that, getting people that information, but giving them a good enough drama storyline to be hooked on it all. Now, I love that. Like the idea that she's into it for the drama, but the parts that we're not into, but yet she's going to be exposed to the parts we are into. And for a show for you and I to be talking about it on a podcast right now, it's got to be something real special. Because I watch a fucking million different shows that I would never think you'd be into. But this one, I know is different, obviously. And through the conversation we've had already for the last hour. And it's... yeah, like that I think that's awesome. I think that's an awesome thing. Like that she is able to get into it and other people will be able to get into it and start to think about this sort of thing through this show. And I think it's awesome that this kind of a show exists.
So we have gotten to the point in the show now where we're one episode away from the finale, which comes out.
Really?
Yep.
The episode 8 or 9 is the finale?
8 is the finale.
Fuck!
Comes out on the 16th, so we're 5 days away.
Oh my god.
And then that's it.
There's gotta be a season 2. There's gotta be a season 2.
When I started watching this, a day or two ago, I thought everything was out and I was going to be able to binge watch it. And we got to episode 7.
And you got...
You should put spoilers up on your title for this video, but we just got to the point where the main character is literally walking into the dev's compound for the last time to confront Forrest and Katie about everything that's been going on, and it just cuts to black there. And I'm waiting for Hulu to pick it back up with the next episode, and suddenly How I Met Your Mother comes on, and I flipped the fuck out.
You got pissed!
It's definitely, if I could recommend the best way to watch it, it is definitely going to be something that you want to binge watch. Maybe in a few episodes at a time, because the first, 2 episodes are very dark, and it has the soundtrack that they use is literally tension noises. They're noises that are supposed to make you feel uncomfortable, and it's almost painful to sit through.
I fucking noticed that. I noticed that shit. Like the music of this show was very specific.
And rather than actually building the tension in the plot, they're using the music to build tension, so that way when they cut the music out, you're more likely to pay attention. Which I can appreciate. I understand why they're doing it, but it makes the first few episodes, when you're not as invested in it, a little hard to get through, because it leaves you with this nasty feeling.
I don't know. Okay. Maybe for the... Okay, fine. You know what? Actually, fair enough. For the casual viewer, I agree. But for the viewer like me, who spent years and years with you in a car talking about this very thing, from the very first episode, I personally was invested. as soon as I figured out that this was a show about determinism versus free will, I was all fucking in, dude. Like, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this ultimately feels like a show to me that you and I would have written during those 4 years.
Oh, no, it starts off pretty dark, though. And like,
No, you're right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
the dark nature of everything that happens in the show from episode 1 and 2, mixed with that kind of off-putting music, for any normal person, it's going to be hard to jump in and enjoy that without really knowing or wanting to experience a show about something that you're passionate about. After episode 2, it really starts picking up a little bit more, and you can really get hooked into it, and that's where the binging should really come in.
Fair enough. Now, but it is great either way, and I got really excited about it because of how much I knew you'd like be into it. So to come back, to circle around now to the very beginning when you said what you how do you think I'd be reacting to it, essentially? How do you think? Because I always argued free will in our conversations.
Yeah,
Now,
but, and it's probably still to this day, I don't know how much of that's truly devil's advocate, because it's difficult for me, because the way I see determinism isn't so much of a philosophical standpoint as a theoretical quantum physics standpoint. To me, it's an understood principle of the universe that with enough information that we'd be able to make these predictions. And that simply because I think does not make me or the matter that I'm made up of any different or subject to any other laws than any other matter in the universe. And that's just an innate understanding of the world, so it's difficult for me to actually appreciate the fact that other people believe that there is free will.
okay.
But whenever people argue in the matter of free will, I just think, well, you obviously don't have enough information, or you're just playing the devil's advocate.
Fair enough. And in fairness, most of the time back in the day, I was just playing the devil's advocate.
I mean, that's what we both did, because we're both kind of dicks.
Well, but also though, I don't disagree. I think that if any, not just an individual, but if anything, any computer, anything held the possibility to know what every particle was doing in every reach of every possible universe, if the multi-universe theory exists, if it doesn't, either way, like, if something had the ability to know what all of that was doing at the same time, then from that point, yes, like, we would potentially have the ability to look directly and quantumly, literally, back in time and into the future. And therefore, everything would be predetermined, because you would always do those things that would be seen. However, here's where look, I do not disagree with that possibility. at all. But here's where it is for me, is that there's something I don't like about it. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Determinism is not something that you should like.
No, agreed. But here's my okay. Because here's the thing, is that determinism is not fact. We do not have the ability to prove determinism or free will equally. We do not have the ability to prove either. But until we do, at least, my problem with determinism, as much as destiny sounds like fun, it also means elimination of responsibility. It also
not necessarily.
Hold on. Let me go at this for a minute. Because to me, determinism is every choice that we've ever made or ever will make has always been made. And we ultimately have no choice. Choice does not exist in a universe of determinism. So
does not matter.
Right. So if that's the case, every murder, every fucking pedophile, every molestation is not that person's choice, and therefore they were always going to make that choice, and they had no they didn't have a choice to do that. They were always going to do that.
Every serial killer. And
every mass murderer.
And every first responder to 9/11.
Fair enough.
Are equally not responsible for their actions.
Oh, shit! God damn it, Jordan! There you come in with the ultimate reaction to the thing I was... God damn it! Every first responder, not just to 9/11, but to every heart attack, to every house fire, to every natural disaster.
The example that I used with Gabby the other day is a boy born into a wealthy family who grows up to murder 25 people versus a boy born into an impoverished family who grows up to run his own company and be financially and psychologically successful.
And make more than 25 people wealthy.
Yeah. That neither one of them could do anything other or become anything other than what they did become.
Than that thing.
So can you hold the murderer responsible for murdering 25 people? If you have a computer that before he was born would tell you that he was going to do all of that?
Minority Report.
And can you really say that the individual who pulled himself up by his bootstraps is anything to actually admire or be proud of if he was always going to do that?
Right. Like,
it's purely his
it's his destiny.
And psychological environment that created what would become a successful person.
A destiny.
What would become a murder.
Yeah. 100%. Dude, god damn it, Jordan. I was sitting here watching this show perfectly comfortable with my understanding of free will, and now you've just ruined it again, as you always have done. God.
So, Gabby, going into, before we started watching Devs, episode 1, I asked her.
Gabby, your wife.
My wife. I asked her, do you believe in free will? She said, yes, of course.
Of course.
guys, and so the choices that you make choices. You don't believe in destiny. You believe that you can affect change on your life by making choices, and that those choices will have consequences, and then you can make other choices that will be able to change the course that you're headed on. Thoroughly believes that. We get into episode 7 of Devs, it ends, and then we kind of have a long conversation after that. I was like, so what do you think now? And she graduated from MSU with a degree in a natural science field. So she has like good understanding of chemistry, physics, the natural sciences that kind of go into this idea of what can make determinism true. And especially watching the show, it really makes you question, well, all of that, like, from a mathematical standpoint, from a physics standpoint, from a chemistry standpoint, from a scientific standpoint, all of that should be true.
Yes.
But then when you start applying the principles of determinism to ethical questions of life,
right, which is what I just did.
That's where it falls apart. And I asked her the same question. Do you believe in determinism? So can we hold the serial killer responsible for his murders if he was always going to do that? And that's where it falls apart.
But ultimately, couldn't that mean... Okay, first of all, fuck yeah. Forget... Like, and Gabby's been on the show before, and fuck yeah for her, you know, watching the show and having these thoughts and all this. But also, these ethical questions, are they that of... Like, to me, I mean, on some level, I feel like having studied philosophy for as long as you and I have, for having studied science for... By no means are we experts. By no means do we have degrees in science or philosophy or this or that.
No, but we've definitely thought about it a lot, which
Dude, we've
essentially is all that you need to do to be a
philosopher, right? Like, we've taken... There are colleges that we have taken every philosophy class that they offer. That's a thing. And through that, we have... Fuck, I kind of forgot where I was going. But fucking... Is there... There's no way to fucking... Fuck! I forgot where I was going, man. There's no way to fucking disprove either thing. But it seems like the more you know about determinism, the more likely it seems to be mathematically, like you pointed out.
When you think about the principles, and if you break it down into what we truly are and what the universe truly is, there's not really any other option. You can't entertain the idea that we have free will if you believe in if you believe that all matter in the universe should obey basically the same principles under similar conditions.
Look, I mean, okay, even on a simpler note, put it this way. Like, so many of us, okay, you and I are both 30 years old. For so many of us, we were brought up on Disney shit. And it's, you know, Hercules has literally a song about destiny. You cannot believe in destiny. You cannot believe in well, okay, I've never thought about that. Never mind. But I was going to say soulmate. But you cannot believe in well, maybe you can. Maybe you can dispute me on that. But can you believe in a soulmate if you believe in free will?
Yes and no.
Because I feel like destiny provides the belief for free will. Or I'm sorry. I feel like destiny provides the belief for a soulmate. Like if you were always going to end up with someone,
True.
then a genuine soulmate, break those words down, then I feel like that is even an argument for determinism.
Yeah, but I don't believe that soulmate, in the way in which we quantify it, is valid.
Fair enough.
Determinism can logically predict, like, with enough information right now, we can logically predict who you're going to end up with. Based on what we know about you psychologically and based on the current position that you're in life, like anybody could come in, and that's what criminal psychologists do. They take in a lot of information about the psychological ramifications that a person is under, and then they look at the natural world around them and the positions that they're put into, and then they can make predictions about what they're going to do, what kind of person they're looking for some of these murders and things like that. They're literally using determinism to backtrace to find a person that did a murder or committed a crime. You can use those same principles to look forward in time and predict, well, more than likely, if I hopped onto Facebook and I friended every girl in the greater Lansing area, I could make some pretty accurate predictions of who you're going to meet and who you're going to like.
God. Okay.
With enough information about those girls, if I narrowed that list down, we find it a little bit more and then started looking at, okay, well, what's their job like? Okay, I can look at where they work at. I can look at what the job market for that's like. I can look at a whole bunch of other information and logically predict that in 5 years from now, they're probably going to move from, Howell to Lansing because that's where those jobs are going to be more prevalent. We have enough information to make educated predictions that can kind of back up a lot of the determinism.
For anyone at this point that uses social media and is actually accurate on it, at least.
True.
Like for anyone that has any kind of, not even social media maybe, but any kind of like any online profile of any sort that is in any way, sort of form up to date, then and that has been for a few years, can then be used to make predictions mathematically.
Yep, and there's then, there's a lot of there's a lot of studies in terms of how people behave, and we all have predictable behavior for a reason. But that's kind of getting off topic from what you were talking about for the ethical ramifications of all this. We can make these predictions, yeah, sure. And right now, with enough information, with the right person and the right resources, somebody with the drive can make predictions about any person and be within a ballpark. With more information and more certainty, you can get it narrower and narrower. But the ethical ramifications of all of this, which makes determinism hard to swallow, really plays a big role in actually getting people to accept the realities of the world around us and accepting the fact that this matter and the mathematical proof that we do have, the mathematical proofs that we do have to suggest that this is actually a reasonable scientific theory more than just a philosophical ideal.
But yes, agreed. But in fairness, we're not there yet.
We're not,
but it seems like every step we take comes closer to that.
The argument that I would have to make was that the show Devs is sci-fi. It's science fiction about making a computer that could actually make these computations. But realistically, in order to map out 100% certainty would require such computational power that it would be almost impossible by any foreseeable means for us to do any within human existence.
Fair enough.
I don't think I need a computer to do it, to be able to prove, I don't think I need 100% reliability to prove it. I think I need the understanding that my matter is no different than any other matter in the universe. When water freezes, melts, or vaporizes, it doesn't have a choice, and nor do I.
Damn. But fuck. See? Agreed. That's all I can say. Is agreed. Shit.
It's difficult for me now because I've gone through so many years of thinking about determinism and thinking about the ramifications of all of these ideas. To think about it as, like I explained earlier, to think about it as just a philosophical idea versus a fact. And I've really drawn enough conclusions from thinking about it to accept that that is the world around me. Now, if other proof were given in any other way, I'd more than happily entertain it, consider it, and apply it to my knowledge, but it would take a lot at this point to lean the tables of my understanding of the physical world away from the understanding that we're all matter.
Exactly. That's kind of exactly my whole point. Is that fucking it's not. None of these. Nothing is known for certain. But there are certain at the moment, it seems like determinism is the most likely thing. Just like at the moment, it seems like the Big Bang is the most likely thing. You know what I mean? Like we're at moments. It doesn't mean that it's what it always will be. But for an extraordinary claim, you require extraordinary evidence.
Exactly.
And for the Big Bang, for determinism, for E equals MC squared, all of these things have fairly extraordinary evidence. So you're going to need something real extraordinary to disprove these things.
We would need a full understanding of the difference between the mind and the brain.
So mind and matter.
Which is,
it's mind and matter and determinism versus free will are like the two most original philosophical ideas.
What is the relationship between the conscious mind and the physical brain?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what this all boils down to.
If we can say that all this boils down to literal matter, a computer made out of biological components. That's all that we are. If we made a physical computer with enough data and storage and complexity to go through the same processes as a human, would it think? Would it have a mind, or just hardware?
Right. That's the argument.
That's the question. Can a computer
right.
think?
Right. That's the argument. Yeah, that's the question. Yeah. Even in Watson, the one that beat in Jeopardy, the IBM computer, is that thing thinking? Or is it a process of thinking?
And that's where
we don't know.
That's where we kind of draw this deep pause, because then it makes us wonder if we are actually thinking, or if we're just processing.
Right. Between intelligence and what we call artificial intelligence. But what happens if artificial intelligence becomes greater than our intelligence? Then which one is truly artificial, you know? I guess neither, but one's just a lot better than the other. Yeah, and I guess neither, but one's just better than the other.
Because, that's kind of the issue there. If you give a computer the ability to see, to move, to sense the world around it, and then give it the ability to actually form a neural network within itself to be able to store, gather, and retrieve information, at what point does it stop being a computer and start having its own consciousness? Because that's all that we are. We're a very, very, very complex organization of matter, cells that are responding to a number of outside influences and just computing them.
Absolutely. I mean, in theory, I feel like that's a hard thing to say as fact until we understand the difference between mind and matter. Because there could be an extra element that we're not aware of yet.
And that's been your argument the whole time.
Exactly.
Is this whole
Exactly.
argument of
Exactly.
consciousness and the collective consciousness. And a lot of these experiments that can show that that consciousness can be measured in some ways or another.
So far, yes. So far, yes, it can be. In some ways or another, but not entirely yet. At least that we maybe yes, maybe entirely yet, but we don't know it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there is that. At least we're not fully aware of everything that's going on. However, there are certainly significant probabilities going in certain directions. And yeah, that's man.
You would know probably better than I, but do you remember the experiments done in a shared magnetic field?
Yes.
Where the participants were supposed to guess what blocked by a wall. A participant is supposed to guess what the other participant is seeing on a screen.
Well, no, it was two different people in two completely closed off rooms from all light and sound. But they were in the same magnetic field. One person was being shown flashes of light. The other person was not. They were both designated to report what they saw. And they both reported flashes of light at similar times, even though one of them was not being shown them. And what this was on a show, the fucking Morgan Freeman show. What was that called? Into the Wormhole. Into the Wormhole. On, I don't know if it was Science Channel, Discovery Channel, one of those. Into the Wormhole with Morgan Freeman. Look that up. You'll find it. And this episode was specifically on the theory of the global consciousness. And one of the many experiments they showed in that episode was, yes, two people in separate rooms right next to each other, one of them not being shown flashes of light, the other one being shown it, and they were both reporting similar flashes of light. The only thing that connected them was the same electromagnetic field. And the idea is that the entire Earth is enveloped in an electromagnetic field, so we all share that same sort of consciousness of that thing. It's something, it was an experiment attempting to show the existence of a global consciousness of some kind, at least. And that was one of many experiments in that episode that showed that similar thing. But yes, why do you bring this up, though?
Well, that's the idea of consciousness being a separate and unknown force, much like gravity was, would have different ramifications for how we understand physics and how we understand the way in which our minds and brains interact with the universe around us.
So you're suggesting that the existence of a force like consciousness that we don't know if exists or not could have an effect on the argument of determinism or free will. It could not, on its own, necessarily say, like consciousness on its own does not, as far as we understand it at least, determine one or the other. But
I think that
it
it
could
would actually give more cause to determinism, because it would give us another measurable force
right.
in the universe to actually be able to add into our calculations to say, oh yeah, when you're inside of a magnetic field, that's why matter thinks that it can actually make choices.
Oh
Silly
shit.
matter.
Oh
Trick for
shit.
kids.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's one way. Yeah, absolutely. It could give more cause to the argument of determinism. You're right.
But then you stem from that to this universal consciousness that maybe the the idea that we are in essence the culmination of the universe trying to experience itself.
Yep. That's put it this way, that's my favorite. That's my third one. There's determinism, there's free will, and there's that one. And that one is to me the most like beautiful and pure and artistic human artistic expression of what's happening. Because like they say in Cosmos, we are all star stuff. And if we are made up of nothing but the same things that all stars and everything in the universe is made up of, then we are literally matter of the universe to evolving to a point where we can experience and appreciate itself. And that shit. Sorry, dropped the microphone. And that I think is the most is it could
still doesn't negate determinism. We're going to all be set on invisible tram lines headed off towards whatever we're going to head off towards, regardless of any illusion of choice or illusion of ideas of thought and free will. But it would be nice to think that there's, and that's kind of the idea of religion in some aspects, is it's nice in some cases to think that there's more to it than just that we happen to be such complex matter that we feel bad about the fact that we're nothing more than that.
You're kind of right. You're kind of right, actually, in that it's ultimately, like, think about what a lot of religion is that a lot of what religion says is that we all have God in us, that proverbial God, whatever you call God, whatever, just using that as a flatline term. So wouldn't that support the idea that we are all matter of the universe, and the universe is the God, and we are matter of the universe experiencing itself? But at the same time, how the fuck would ancients have had that idea to create religion? You know what I mean? Maybe religion wasn't created in light of that knowledge. But
religion was created in a way to explain why humans have always had an innate passion for asking questions. for wondering why. Why does this happen? Why are we here? Why do I exist? So on and so forth. And that's what religion really goes to answer that question. One of my issues with religion that was brought up in some articles that I've read since watching Devs is again, after reading those articles, I should say, is the God's plan kind of religious philosophy, that God has a plan and that everything that happens to us as humans is part of God's plan. They believe in determinism. They believe that all is God's will. That if something bad happens without you making a bad choice for it, then it was God's plan and his invention. But yet there's still free will and room for you to make choices that are either inherently good or inherently bad, or objectively good or bad. And that hurts my brain to wrap around that combination of, well, yeah, there's a greater power that controls everything, knows exactly what's going to happen, and everything that happens, has been determined by him, but then you're still punished for the decisions that you make.
Fair enough. And in terms of the basic argument between free will and determinism, like I made earlier, I would say it hurts my brain to think that there is no individual responsibility for any choice that anyone makes. So that means every time someone has ever wronged someone, that they're not responsible for that. They were always going to do that.
Well, there's the utilitarianism point of view that regardless of motive or intent, that the only thing that matters is the outcome. So if something that you do, or if you are the cause to something that is bad, that you should be punished for whatever is bad. And it takes no account into it understands that your choices may or may not exist. It understands that your intentions may have been good, even if you could have a choice, but still punishes you for doing something that had a bad outcome. Whereas we can listen to Kant, who thinks that all that actually matters, because Kant is one of those cunts that loves to think that we all have free will and that everything is inside the human mind. That cunt, he thinks that all that should actually matter is what your intentions were. It doesn't matter the actual outcome of anything that you do. What matters is truly just, it's the thought that counts. I was trying to help you out. I'm sorry that I accidentally killed all of your family, but, I was trying to do something good.
Right.
So if you apply, you can accept determinism and still accept capital punishment. It's realistically, what was the movie that you referenced earlier that uses the computers? Quantum? No.
Fuck, I don't remember.
No, it's the it's heard in my head. It uses computers to tell you when somebody's going to do something bad.
Minority Report.
Yep. Essentially, like, all of that's fine to have determinism and still punish those who are going to do things that we consider bad. With enough information, you're actually able to predict who will do things, who won't do things. We would probably, I would assume that we would probably work together with that information to eliminate all things that would be considered bad.
But that movie, the I don't know, the controversy, I guess, that it caused was that they were arresting people before they could do the bad thing. Therefore, eliminating the option for a choice to do the right thing immediately before they did the bad thing. So that's the ultimate question.
They still allowed for the illusion of free will. They believed that there was choice. That's why it was controversial.
Well,
if you look at that movie from a point of determinism, and you assume that they actually had a viable calculation that was true.
Well, instead of a computer sort of thing like devs, they had these I think they had these 3 women in a tub that were super psychics or something that could predict everything. It wasn't as scientific, and I haven't seen it in a long time, but was the plot of that film. Whether or not the mechanics of it were, in any way, shape, or form accurate, that was the philosophical, much like The Matrix. Ultimately, The Matrix was a movie about someone who thought they were living in a simulation, or someone who thought they were living in the real world was living in a simulation. Minority Report was about someone who had potential access to 3 psychics who could predict everything in the future. You know what I mean? So, when you boil it down, but at the same time, these movies brought up very real and very fascinating, in-depth, century-old philosophical ideas.
The difference between the Minority Report and determinism is that the psychics were predicting a possible future that, unless action was taken, would come to be true. The dev's computer would take into account what will happen. But not just what will, every possibility with the input of the multi-worlds theory. And it would collapse into the one true outcome. By the one true outcome, you mean the one we are viewing the show through exists in, right? The one that existence will continue through our perspective. Yeah. And literally what that means, looking into the future, is by viewing the future from the multiverse point of view, you've already taken that branch. That's all. Right. That's all that you're doing. Right. By viewing it going forward, you've just made that decision before it's gotten there. Right. Right. You've already done that branch of them. Yeah. It's literally a tree, but just like how brain neurons look, how trees look in the fall, you know what I mean, with no leaves on them, like brain neurons going up to the sky. It is exactly that, and it's fucking, yeah. No, this is, dude, we've done 2 hours.
and like we've talked for 2 hours, and this has been amazing. Are you drinking anything right now?
Uh, Not anymore. My drink's empty.
God damn it! Yeah, are you just on your? Are you plugged in?
To my phone? No.
Yeah. No, then go. While we're talking right now, go get another drink. I want to take a drink with you.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Go get another drink right now. I'll keep talking. Fucking. But this dude, seriously, I have been bursting, like literally, like freaking the fuck out to talk to you about this show because it is to me like a show back from 2008 or 9 to 13 or 14. It is something I feel like you and I would have literally written ourselves and been able to, at this point, seeing this show now, been able to have sold and produced to a network. Like, this is something.
Well, too bad Netflix wasn't around back then.
Right? Like, it's literally something that, like, you and I have talked about for many years now. And to me, it was just really, really exciting to see a show getting made about it, exploring these ideas and topics and theories, and
I feel like our show probably would have been more like a cross between Devs and Doug Benson's podcast.
I would have said between Devs and Clerks, but yeah, I feel you. It would have been our show would have been two stoners in a car talking about everything that Devs is talking about. Like straight up. And
wondering if we've actually seen Dogman.
Yeah, that too. Dogman would have been a heavy influence, as he is in everything I do. But either way, it's we're in quarantine, shelter in place. We can't see each other right now, and that, yeah, like honestly, this shit has been fucking me up more than I thought it would.
I can see you.
Like I genuinely feel like cooped up and like not. Like I'm feeling it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm feeling the shelter-in-place quarantine situation. I'm really bummed out that I haven't gotten to see you in the past few weeks.
Why don't you just come work at the hardware store that I do? Because they need help.
They're probably hiring, right?
Severely, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but, maybe. But... but we'll see about that. But it's really kind of having an effect on me more so than I thought it would. So I'm really glad that I got to talk to you tonight. I think it's something that people should be doing, is reaching out and talking, not just texting, but talking on the phone to people that they normally would see more often. And do you have a drink? You got a drink poured up?
I got a drink.
Cheers to you, my friend. Let's take a drink right now. Cheers to you, my brother. I love you. What are you drinking?
Chivas.
Yo, dude. I'm drinking this Buffalo Trace. Dude, this shit is fire. Fucking fire.
Obviously, we haven't hung out in a while with quarantine and everything.
Yeah.
When was the last time that we actually hung out?
I don't specifically know.
Had I started my current job yet?
Yes.
Was it like the weekend right after? No, because Gabby's family was here, my wife's family was here, so it would have been the weekend after, so that was like the 13th, 14th, something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
That's the last time I drank.
Damn.
It's been almost a straight month. I've had like a glass of wine with dinner.
But like drank to get drunk.
Like drink enough to feel anything.
Fair enough. Well, have you ever drank Buffalo Trace?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Dude,
I like Buffalo Trace.
Oh my
It's
god.
good bourbon.
Dude,
I
the
moved
best.
I moved away from bourbon, and now it's time for BJ and Jordan's whiskey review. I moved away from bourbon in general, because the corn taste is so sweet.
Okay.
And overpowering. I like the peaty taste of Scotch more because it's not quite as sweet, but you get a lot of the same smoky flavors that you would from bourbon.
Fair enough. I don't know. Like dude, I fucking love Scotch, but this could be my favorite American whiskey bourbon thing that I have found.
What I would really like to do is, once this quarantine is over, is get a bottle of Lagavulins.
Yeah.
And record a podcast at that point while drinking that bottle.
Oh, I'm down. Well,
if that would be too long of a podcast to finish that bottle, but
it might
I
be.
think we could do it.
I think we could do it. And, maybe shit, I don't know. Actually, I don't know, because I'm probably going to want to call you again once Devs is over to talk about the finale. And that's just like a week and a half away.
Like Thursday night, Friday night for me, because it'll come out the following day on Hulu.
Same for me. And, so that probably won't be that podcast. But you know what? Fuck it. There's never a shortage of things for you and I to talk about. So, no, we'll do that. We'll do a Lagavulin podcast. I'm down. Lost in the Lagavulin, bro? Come on. That's easy.
In the Lagavulin.
Lost in the Lagavulin.
And the lockout of 2020.
The lockout, yeah. The lockout of 2020. No fucking kidding, dude. Like,
or locked down in 2020.
Yeah, this shit is fucking crazy. But yeah, we've been going for two hours and fucking almost 15 minutes now. So we'll
Yep, I gotcha.
Let's wrap this one up. Dude, I can't even tell you. Thank you so much for talking to me. It was so good. This is the first time I've heard from you in almost over a week now. Besides text. So it was really good to hear from you. I'm fucking just ecstatic that we finally got to talk about devs. And once this fucking quarantine shit is over, once we get this shit nipped in the butt and can go to people's houses again, I will be sure to bring the cosmos with me, and we'll have plenty more to talk about on podcasts. Definitely with that shit.
By the way, what is Cosmos playing on? Because I can't find it.
National Geographic.
Mm-hmm.
It's on National Geographic for now, and I don't know how many episodes the season is, but every week they release 2 episodes on National Geographic, which seems weird to me. And then over the summer, coming up here in the summer months, it's scheduled to be released on Fox, just like the last one was.
Which will then make it to Hulu, unless that gets taken up by Disney.
Fair point. I don't know. Fair point.
Actually,
I imagine it'll still be on Hulu, but fair point. I don't know.
Does Disney own Nat Geo?
I don't know. I don't know, honestly.
I want to check that, because if it's on Disney Plus, I might start watching that now.
Yeah, I mean, dude, yeah, if you got Disney Plus and if it's on there, fucking start. Honestly, I am only there's a lot. There's at least 8 episodes out, and I've only watched like 3 or 4 of them because I'm kind of like saving them to wait for you. So yeah, if you can if you have the ability to start watching them, let me know.
Well, do.
Yeah. All right.
But all right, yeah, I'll let you go. You want to wrap this up now?
Yeah, let's do that, fucking dude. Man, thank you so much for fucking being on this episode, and yeah, I will. I'll talk to you again. Yeah, I'll talk to you later tonight or tomorrow for sure.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, buddy. I fucking love you, and I hope you stay safe and stay healthy. And
stay lost out there.
Stay lost. Hell yeah. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
All right, peace. And that was it for this episode, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for Jordan calling in. Holy shit, man. We went over a lot. We went over a lot on that one. Devs, you guys got to understand and I've said it many times on this podcast before, but this podcast was started in hopes by me and my cousin Preston in hopes to capture conversations that people like me and Preston and me and Jordan and me and Aaron had that, you know, we're just driving around in the car on the way back from concerts from Detroit and stuff like that. Like the idea was to capture some of these conversations that I thought were awesome and I thought were worth capturing. And I'm not gonna lie, that right there was one of them. That was fucking amazing. Yeah, that's really all I got for you guys tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope it kind of I hope you're all staying safe out there. I hope you're all fucking staying healthy. This is the craziest shit ever. And yeah, I guess I just hope everybody that listens to this is staying healthy and staying good. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Raise your fucking horns. Thank you to Jordan. Bang your goddamn heads. In a time now more than ever, support all your favorite bands. Support everybody. Music to me has been extremely important in all this quarantine and all this shelter-in-place situation. So fucking raise your horns and bang your goddamn heads to everyone putting out music, live videos, live streams during this time. And thank you all so fucking much for listening. I cannot tell you from the bottom of my heart how much I appreciate it. You are unbelievable. Unfucking believable. So I'm going to end this one a little bit differently than I normally do. Here's to you. Cheers. No more ice in the glass. So cheers to you. I love you all to death. And good night.